Hey, Shalom, all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the bonus of the apostles of great millstone, and all the she brothers will be pushing his truth in sincerity for the four corners of the earth. So I'm going to do this quick video here, dealing with a statement that was made on the video that I was just watching here on Dallas, Great Millstone Dallas, live show where they had the elder and that there, which is was a good show. I'm still watching, I'm still working my way through it. But there was a statement made regarding the families and pretty much how feminism, okay, allowed it for the state to raise the children there, and ultimately in the state running the children, it was easier to influence a broken society, okay, which a broken society is necessary for Esau to set up his so-called new world order. So it was a beautiful point that was made, and I wanted to go into that a little bit, if I can. I wanted to go into some of the other implications of this so-called feminism, okay, which was a whole setup where it's a joke, okay, because what you're seeing now, you're seeing all of these people's families have been broken up, okay, a disbalance between how the children are raised. Now you got it to where transgenders are raising up the kids when the kids could have been raised at home with the mother, okay, in a society, in an environment that was nurturing to the children. See, that's what people don't really go into too much, okay. They forget about these women when they're talking about this so-called liberation and so on and so forth. These children that's going to be raised up within that environment, okay. No one seeks to understand how that ideology affects the children, and ultimately what you see a whole society just lost, okay. What you're seeing with these kids that were raised up in the prime heat of this so-called feminism is a complete and utter broken society, man. Okay, no order, no respect. Okay, no idea what they're doing. Okay, just going out crazy because why? Because now you had it to where that guidance that was going to come from the parents or and ultimately from the father, because it was a patriotic society, okay, that had been taken away, right? All in the sense of really ultimately just selfishness. Okay, so let me get into this a little bit. All right, it says the impacts of feminism on the family. It says Gloria Steinberg sounded the war cry. All right, we don't just want to destroy capitalism, she said, but we want to destroy. We want to tear down the whole effing patriarchy. Okay, it says as the women's movement turned fanatical and ugly in the 1960s and 70s, the focus began to shift from reforms and equal opportunity. So this is a bit of a big read. I'll go through as much of it as I physically can do, but obviously you can check this out for yourself. So it says the focus began to shift from reform and equal opportunities. The feminist leaders, humorless, militant, pugnacious, and angry with their particular lot in life, launched programs where anti-God, okay, and that's the important bit. That's the first thing you need to address. That needs to be addressed, okay, because we're saying that the leader, okay, the foremost person within this the so-called feminist agenda, the first thing that they're saying is anti-God. Okay, now that for you Israelites out there, you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you should know that this is the rest of it is just gonna be BS. Okay, you should know that anything that comes out of a person that says anti-God, right, is anti-you. Okay, it ain't for you. Okay, right? You should be understanding that. Now, obviously, if you want to go out there and worship Satan or whatever, do what you're going to do, but don't call yourself a so-called believer in the Most High and you're at the same time a feminist. Those are two contradictory statements based off of what the founder of the group has said. Okay, anti-capitalist, anti-family. Well, that's anti-biblical because the Bible speaks about family, how you're supposed to take care of your family. What happens in the case where you got multiple wives and how you gonna break down inheritance in that situation. Those are all things prescribed within the scriptures. Anti-birth, okay? Anti-birth is against the scriptures. What the Lord said: be fruitful, multiply. All right, and anti-heterosexual. I ain't gonna tell you that ain't script. That's anti scriptures. Okay, because we know when we go into the book of Leviticus, it tells you if a man lies with mankind as he's lying for the woman, hey, both of them gonna be their blood shall be upon them. Same thing goes for a woman. Okay, and foster a virulent hatred for anything having to do with males, All right, they no longer wanted to equalize the status of women, and this is the key statement that I was drawn to when I was reading this, because it's a good read. Okay, they were no longer wanted to equalize the status of women. That's what you find within the so-called relationships that you have with your woman. She doesn't want to be equal to you. She wants to surpass you. Okay, equality is this: we go to a restaurant, we both pay half. This bitch wants me to do everything that for her. Okay, and just demand stuff as if she's my father or anything like that. Even my mom didn't even do that. Okay, and that's the same thing you're seeing out there within. That's just a hypothetical example, by the way. But that's the same thing you're seeing out there within the society. They don't just want you. They don't just want to be equal. Oh, okay, or I'll put it this way. Okay, because femininity these days is narcissism on steroids. They don't want to be. They don't want to be equal to you. Okay, right? They want it to be. They want to be equal to you when it suits them. Okay, when it's equal, when it suits them for you to be equal to them. In the other case, you're above and beyond. They're above and beyond you. Okay, it says, but instead they wanted to irreversibly alienate women from men and vice versa. For this, an anti-family crusade, Gloria Steinem, right, was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama in 2013. This highest civilian award in the U.S. supposedly recognizes those individuals who have made an especially meritorious, right, contribution to the security or the national interest of the United States, world peace, cultural, and other significant public or private endeavors. The fiction of fatherhood is a giant religion called Christianity. I mean, these statements, okay, they should let you know what this whole movement's all about, this lesbianism and all of that. Okay, so you ain't supposed to be having, now first and foremost, when you go to the scriptures and you find out what the scriptures talk about lesbianism, then you should know you can't be Christian, so-called Christian, or so-called getting into the scriptures and be lesbian. You should know that's against the scriptures. Okay, and the same thing goes for homosexuality. You should know that goes against the scriptures. But they're going to show you that this whole fatherhood, all right, is a religion we call Christianity. So, man, if it's not clear as daylight, then you're just being ignorant. Okay, so it says home and traditional family values are no longer accepted. Home and traditional values are no longer accepted answers for the questions: who am I? What am I here for? Okay, to serve you. And to answer that, all you have to do is go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the 13th verse. Okay, where the scripture talks about that this is the whole duty of man. Okay, that we serve the Most High. Okay, because it is all. I'm roughly paraphrasing, trying to remember off the top of my head. Right, for the whole duty of man is to serve the Most High, man. Okay, so let's carry on with this. It says, the preeminent purpose for some women have become their careers. All right, which is that's against the nature. Okay, that's against nature, because if your purpose is your so-called career, that's a very self-willed endeavor. Okay, so when you have it to where you got children and so on and so forth, well, those children are gonna have to revolve around your ego, and you've already seen the consequence of that. Okay, you get these effeminized jakes. Okay, they're all about themselves. Okay, they have no true purpose about themselves because they have their agenda. All right, it revolves around their own emotional needs. Okay. That's what you go out here, and that leads to all types of different chaoses, man. I can name names, numbers, okay, jerseys, man, okay, right, of self-willed individuals, okay, and you see them coming into this truth of self-willed individuals, okay, that are taken after their mothers, who are self-willed, all right, they're all about themselves, and they can't see the bigger picture. They can't see the bigger picture this is not about you, man, okay. See, if you're raised in a traditional household, you quickly realize, right, your purpose is not all about yourself. Okay, you gotta go do this, that, and the third, so you can take care of this person, that person, because they took care of you. Okay, it's not self-fulfilling, and ultimately within this truth, you come to find out that this is not a self-fulfilling thing. This is a thing of you going out there to do the work because the Most High has instructed you to do the work. That's what it comes down to. And a good example that comes to mind is the man Jonah, because he didn't want to do that. But guess what? The Most High set it up from the foundation of the earth that he was of the righteous, right? That he was going to be a prophet. That he was going to be of the elect, even though he didn't want to be. The jobs that came with that. The Most High still had it to where he did that, man. Okay, so this ain't no a self-fulfilling thing. This is a thing of being in a family structure, and when in a traditional family structure, you have you have a patriarchal environment with the head person. Okay, the father figure leads charge, man. Because the father figure is not self-willed. The father figure can give instruction that's going to be mutually beneficial, man. Now check that out. Put that one in your wallet. Okay, put that one in your wallet. Because traditionally speaking, the father can issue out judgment that's going to be mutually beneficial to all parties, as opposed to an emotional agenda that's self-fulfilling. Okay, taken over by radical leftists. Right, I like this one here. Okay, this paragraph. So it says, taken over by radical leftists committed to adultery, which is against the scriptures. That's when you sleep with that's when in terms of a man can only commit adultery if he's sleeping with another woman, a man's woman. Okay, if he's got multiple women, well, guess what? That ain't biblical adultery. Okay, if he's got multiple women, well, the scripture tells you how you're supposed to be dealing with the multiple women. Okay, but and it's true, you really want to keep it down to as minimal as physically possible, right? But when you're dealing in terms of the scriptures and when it becomes expedient, well, guess what, man? You can do it with as many women as you like, and it ain't adultery unless you're taking someone else's woman. Now, as for these women, okay, they're sleeping all types of dudes, man, because they're under the vibration of self-fulfillment, man. Okay, they're under the environment of doing what they want to do, which is against the scriptures. That's against the natural order that Yahweh Shemel Shai set up. And you're seeing the results of that. The children that come out are self-willed. They have no order. Ain't no man gonna stay around whilst his woman's getting pounded by Tyrone next door, man. They ain't gonna stand for that. Ain't no man's gonna stand around whilst the milkman's done left seed within his woman. Ain't no man standing for that. He's leaving. So you get these, single mothers raising up kids on their own. Okay, and they are looking around saying, where's all this so-called good men? Well, hold on a minute. You're the one that was talking about self-liberation. We went out there where we got some bush bitch to take care of our needs, man, because they're more in order. Okay, let's carry on with this. Excuse my my snuffling. Okay, so it's taken over by radical leftists committed to adultery, lesbianism, and perpetuation of self over motherhood and family. That's that, man. I mean, come on, man. I mean, are we in a society where everybody's got smartphones, but nobody's smart enough to look up this information and see this whole agenda is against life? All right, this whole agenda is completely against life, man. Right? The person that's going to raise the kids for the predominant part is self-willed. That's against life, man. That's detrimental. That's diabolical. That's very much like Esau, the person that's in control. The person that's in power right now. Okay, so it says, over motherhood and family, the women's movement led by National Organization of Women became an adjunct to the Democratic Party. Okay, and it says the Democratic Party left millions of evangelicals and pro-family Christians, right? They're dealing with it because this article is really dealing with Christianity and so on and so forth. We just have to ride with that, right? When they lurched to the left under George McGovern and his successors during the 1970s, the Democratic Party abandoned its centrist pro-family base and became a captive to the special interests of the radical left, including feminists, extreme environmentalists, and gay rights. Okay, so the radical feminists linked with Marxists caused together let me read that again properly. It says the radical leftists linked all the Marxist causes causes together by writing, we want to destroy the three pillars of class, caste society, right? The family, right? So that's what this women's lib is all about. Okay, the destruction of family. And family is a very important thing, okay? It's not just a thing of people that you borrow money off of, or people that you hang around at their house and you eat their chicken and you don't like it when they come around your place because you're a selfish bastard, okay? Family is a thing of order being issued out, Okay, so if you got it to where there's a person that's in charge, okay, or the orga, the chief, okay, when that individual issues out a certain order, when that whole thing goes throughout the whole family, everybody's better off. Okay, everybody's better off. Okay, when you're talking about helping each other out, that's gonna be you're gonna be better off. Okay, you're just better off as a unit as opposed to and as an individual, man. Many hands make light work. Okay, that's so easy to see, man. Okay, and when you see these Elamites out here, these so-called East Indians, and you see their so-called family structure, you see how they're just exhaling at everything. So you might have it to where one of the daughters wants to be a doctor or something. Well, guess what? One of the uncles or the cousins have already done that doctorate. So they're going to learn underneath them. They're going to borrow all of them books. How much easier is that as a process in a family structure than it is if you're on your own, man? It's 10, 20 times easier, man. You got all types of cousins, do this, and then you get that result. And that's just dealing with one facet of life. What about cooking? Okay? You're going to get help from grandma, auntie, all of that. You're all in the kitchen cooking. I mean, you see them Elamites do that on their so-called TV programs. Okay, making all types of money and then eating them little Indian restaurants, making all types of money, running all types of businesses because they can work in a unit. But see, you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans fall Esau's endeavors at every turn. Okay, you take up these so-called ideas onto you, and then you become even more destroyed. And I'm not saying them Elamites ain't destroyed, but really, because they live in the same society as we do, but they got a more traditional culture, okay, a more patriotic society. Well, obviously, you're gonna have anomalies in there, okay. So it says the concerns of the recent. So pretty much. I'll read this last one and then I'll call it quits on that. So it says the concerns of the recent national conventions have been bashing the Christians men's a group. So that's pretty much it. All I wanted to get on that. Okay, so let's go to that's pretty much it. You can read the rest for yourself. Okay, it's quite meaty bits. You can even do your own video if you want to do your own video on that. Okay, so that's the name of the article. You can see the page there. So with that, hopefully that was of edification. You can see that's this whole agenda is anti-life. It's anti-life. Okay, such is the way of the man that came up with it. Okay, all right, and then they got the woman at the front, but ultimately we know that Esau came up with this behind closed doors and said, okay, we're gonna give you £1 million. Just go out there and say this. All right, some say, oh, praises unto Yahweh Shemi Shai, double honors to the apostles of great millstone, and I honor you brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity. And Lord's will, I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.